looks like we are good. We are good to go here. Welcome back to Kronos World. Thank you so much for kind of hanging out in the nether space as we were kind of just, doing a real life thing for taking a little break there for a minute. We are back and we are so excited to be bringing back this Saltmarsh Legends campaign. I am very excited to get back into this. We've been kind of having a little bit of a downtime fun in the meantime, but we're definitely excited to get this back to the public and let everybody get a chance to kind of keep up with the story as it develops here. Quickly, I do want to say thank you to Limithron again for being a sponsor of the show. Please go check out his channel on Patreon. And just check out all of the really cool resources that he has there. He has some really awesome stuff for just kind of taking your own games to the next level, especially if you're doing any kind of ocean campaigns or anything like that. He's got some really great winter assets if you're doing Ram of the Frost Maiden, so go check out his stuff for sure. Other than that, I think we are going to just jump right into this because I am very excited to get going. So let me jump right on over to that main screen. And you should be able to see all of our beautiful faces. I know these guys are also super excited to get back to this campaign. So let me turn it right on over to our awesome GM, Mr. Connor.
Hey everyone. My Twitch is a little laggy, but I'll just keep on going. So as I said, my name is Connor. I am the GM for this campaign, and I am joined today by 4 out of 5 players. Sadly, Jared is not able to join us tonight, but he will be back for the foreseeable future. Let's go around and just introduce ourselves really quick. Indigo, why don't you start off?
I will do that. Obviously, I'm Indigo. I'm the host of Kronos World and all that kind of stuff. Definitely putting together some awesome games on the channel so far. I play a little mouse guy named Monterey Jack, and he likes to stabby stab and be mostly ridiculous, and obviously the brains of the group. And we'll just leave it at that.
And a big old narc.
He is not a narc.
He is.
Not yet proven.
I know.
Just highly suspected.
There's no
At least
evidence
he's
of
very,
this.
very bad at pranks. We can all agree with that.
Well, there's a reason for that. We'll get into that one of these episodes, I'm sure.
All right, let's go over to Gibbs.
Hi, I'm Gibbs. I play Maya, who is a fish person, because I always mess up saying the species, the race. Triton, right? Got it? Okay.
Nailed it first try.
Yeah.
It's actually Tritonio.
Don't listen to him. Please don't.
And she is the one that has to deal with all the boys in the group. Yeah.
Let's hop on over to Quinn.
Hey, I'm Quinn. The big Quinn in our Kronos World server. I play Omiros, your Rastafarian satyr, monk, and master of the elements. It's always fun playing them guys. I was out for a while, but I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad we're back streaming.
Yeah, so glad you're feeling better. How are you up? Like 60%, 70%, 100%?
Well, we're pushing 80. We're pushing 80.
Okay, we'll take that.
I mean, when I get sick because I rarely get sick most of the time. So it's more or less like, this week was horrible. I feel terrible, and now it's broken. I'm like, all right, to the end and beyond.
Well, now you can just use those memories to inspire your bridge roleplay. But we move on to Eric.
Hey, what's up? I'm Eric, aka on the channel Ancient Manbeast, maybe? Not sure. Anyways, I play Majestic Fable of the Endless Road. Once just a simple merchant. Now, what was that? You have a question? Still relatively simple merchant, but he does have some magic, and he's trying to figure things out. And just do the right thing at all times. So yeah. Oh, he's a catfolk. He is a tabaxi.
Yes, and I believe we can just jump right back in. So, last time, we have had 2 episodes that have sadly not been able to be streamed, but I'm going to try and catch you guys all up as much as I can. So, Here we go. Our heroes returned to Saltmarsh after clearing out the haunted house on the hill. Having survived critters, pantaloons, smugglers, and skeletons, they returned and reported back to Captain Eleander Fireborn, explaining that they had found a secret docking bay used by smugglers beneath the house. Sadly, our heroes were unable to apprehend the smugglers and their booty. Our heroes did learn that the young foundling Brooke, who they had previously rescued in their ship adventure, had been taken in by the local councilwoman Ada Oland, and as well as new flyers had been distributed among the town talking about an upcoming feast at Councilman Primewater's estate featuring a foreign tiefling singer. Lastly, they found that Captain Fireborn's home had been broken into and some ancient maps and documents had been stolen. The party now searches for the culprit, and after a tip-off from a literal little squirrel, they learned that a previously encountered Ned Flanders was seen at the scene of the crime. And now, having a tip to explore possibly the Empty Net, one of the less reputable establishments in Saltmarsh, we rejoin our party in the early hours of the afternoon. Party, what would you like to do?
Well, I believe we still needed to go to the general store
Mm.
before we went to the Shady Tavern.
Yes. That is
Winston's store, right?
Winston's, I believe.
Indeed. I need
think-
to pick up a disguise. So I look less like
Oh, I got you covered. I got you covered, brother, on that.
Well, so disguise kit can help you like change like kind of facial appearances. For actual outfits, you're gonna need to purchase them, I think.
Okay.
Because disguise kit, you don't have a walking rack of clothing.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be great.
Plus, you and Monterey are not the same size.
I can. You know, like a shirt of mine could be like a one piece for him.
Just
so.
have to take it a little bit on the legs. Just take it up
Yeah.
a little.
Turn into a romper.
But more importantly, we needed we were there to investigate who. I mean, I think we know it was the merchant, but I think we were like, they might have bought a hook and rope or like a
Oh yeah, grappling hook.
grappling hook.
I'm gonna try and do Syd.
A grappling hook, yeah. Anyways,
What was your full name, Sid?
Syd Guiltyspark.
I feel like there was something different yesterday. It always changes.
Sorry, I had to.
Didn't need Rodrigo in there, right?
Enrique, actually. But yeah, if someone were to try and purchase a climber's kit, if they didn't have the courage to go to the place where we just were, you know, the faithful quartermasters of Ayu's, Winston's store is definitely a place where they might look.
All right, well let's go. We'll get some fabric. Question the dude. I don't think we need we don't need anything else, right? We're all covered as far as basic gear.
Well, I recall we just dropped a bunch of our gold on healing potions, so I don't know about you, but I'm not exactly flush at the moment.
There are ways to remedy that.
Don't like the way you say that.
But that's more of a later thing. Let's go.
All right, so you guys start to travel through Saltmarsh once again, coming to the bridge separating south side from north side. Is there anything anyone would like to do about that?
I built a catapult and put the goat on it.
I just put my hand on.
I willingly
Omiros's
get
arm.
into the catapult.
I just put my hand on Omiros's arm and I say, "I'm sorry, my friend. Looks like we must face this again."
At least this time I come prepared. So I pull out a jar and rub Vicks on my chest. The equivalent of old day Vicks on my chest.
So you guys begin to cross the bridge. Omiros, give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
That Vicks Vapor Rub really coming in clutch.
Oh, well, that didn't give me the option to do the math. I wanted to do some token. I'll just do the. I'm very confused.
Yeah, 13 is plenty. You feel a little bit queasy in your stomach, but you have no major symptoms.
Whew. Much better. No insides becoming outsides.
And you guys continue along the main road, winding through north side, and actually just a little bit out of the main part of Saltmarsh, until you get to what appears to be a rather large warehouse-looking building. Perhaps at one time was a large barn, but has been repurposed. It has a relatively new coating of paint in a forest green color, and a very bright sign on top says simply Winston's General Store. And you see that one of it's two very large barn doors. One of them is ajar, open.
Let's run in.
So I was thinking, like, perhaps, like, like a nobleman. If I were to get, like, a ruffly shirt, and then get, like, one of those things where I tie it around my arms or
No,
something.
you can never pull that off.
What
You're
happened
too
to
short
me?
for that.
I could,
Okay, your name is going to be Squab, and you're like a deaf mute, deck, like.
Mouse.
No. I should be like a dashing pirate. I'll get like a patch and I'll put it over my left eye here. You see, and then get like a nice hat with maybe a little skull and some crossbones on it. And
Why can't you just be a well-dressed mouse man?
Well, apparently I'm a knock if I'm just go as myself.
I mean, I was thinking I was going to put some like grease on you and some dirt. Trust me, it's gonna be much better this way.
Wait, this is for going to the tavern?
Yes,
No.
I must get into character. I'd be a very swarthy individual.
This is for the empty net.
And we'll need more than 2
Which
hours
is a
to make
tavern, right?
make you noble.
Oh, that's
It's a tavern.
I thought you said tower.
No.
Okay.
I don't have the time to make you a noble, okay? I have time to make you a dirty street mouse.
At least he didn't say rat this time.
Who? I never said rat, but I never said rat. That was not me. I've always called him a mouse.
This is true. He has been very kind in that regard.
But you will be a dirty gutter mouse who scrapes and eats mold off the ground for sustenance.
Well, back to my childhood then. Yes, well, I was trying to get past those days, but I suppose whatever it takes to move us forward.
It'll be easy for you to roleplay.
Stories to tell you, so. Do you have any cheese?
Do I have your cheese?
Do you have any cheese? And it doesn't have to be. I hope you don't have my cheese. That would be most
Do I have any
disrespectful.
cheese?
We're going to a general store. Perhaps
I'm
we
gonna
should
roll
get
to
cheese
see if I have
inside.
cheese.
Perhaps the store will have some cheese.
Oh,
feel
I
like
fucking
cheese.
have a huge meal of monster.
Yes, as it turns out, when you were sleeping over at Maya's house, they were having panini night the night before, and you stole some cheese from the larder.
I just pull out like a wheel of cheese.
As long as you didn't keep it from under, we're good.
Here, I shall give you this slice of cheese, but then you owe me.
But would you like an exchange
Is
for
that
the
from
cheese?
my
then,
house?
sir?
No, I found this at the bar.
I step in between the cheese and Maya.
It'll be later. I'll cash it. Don't worry about it now. That will be a later thing. But here you go. Eat some cheese.
Indeed, sir. They'll start breaking up little chunks and eating cheeses. I'm wondering.
Come now.
Oh, like the whole
Time to go on
wheel.
Entire wheel.
All right, let's get to the store.
All right, you guys enter Winston's, and you see it is a very much what you had believed it to be at first, which is a barn that has been refurbished with many shelves. It's not the easiest to navigate. It almost becomes a bit like a maze. The things look to be in much better condition than the Quartermasters of IU's, where it appeared more like a junk store. But in a somewhat similar vein, organization perhaps is not this Winston person's strong point.
Okay.
Anything stand out among the pile of the shelves that we wander through?
You see a big amount of what looks like mostly farming supplies. There are large sacks of grain, pitchforks, and those sorts of things, as well as almost half the store appears to be dedicated to nets and rods and other sort of fishing accoutrement. However, as you guys start wandering, you hear tiny footsteps come around some corner that you hadn't quite explored, and you see a halfling, a rather getting on in his years, a little bit stout in his appearance, once red hair, now flicked with some streaks of gray, and rather large square spectacles on his nose. Oh, good day. Syd, Maya, good to see you again, Monterey. And some new friends. What can I get for you today?
Oh, we need some like fabrics, right? Clothes, just random clothes for all the disguises. So, do you have extra clothes, extra spare robes or shirts, things like that?
Well, certainly. For which individual is you're rather ranging in heights?
Doesn't matter. I can make anything work. So just anything extra.
All right. What's your price range?
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Well, I mean, do I show you the really fancy stuff, or do you want just
No.
stuff to cover you?
Yes, stuff to cover us.
Yeah, right, easy enough. Follow me. And he leads you down a couple of different ways until you get to sort of a large table that is almost like Costco style. It's just folded pieces of material just laid out on top of a table. And he will actually, you notice that throughout this place, there are these little step ladders that he frequently has to walk up in order to just get to the height of an average sized table. All right, so here's my selection of fabrics. It's pretty much everything. If it's not here, I'm afraid I don't carry it right now, but I can order things if there's anything specific that catches your eye.
Very good selection. You are quite the merchant, and I would know because I am also.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
I don't. What's your name?
Majestic Fable of the Endless Road. I travel far and wide, looking, various magical trinkets and rare wares. But this is a very fine establishment. You are a pillar of the community.
Oh, you're too kind. If as you say, you look for fine and unique and treasures, I'm afraid we don't carry anything like that here. We just carry humble items at an honest price.
Well, there's a niche for everything.
All right. So while your friend's looking through there, is there anything else any of you are interested in?
I should like to
medicine
find a...
kits.
Go ahead, Maya. My apologies.
Medicine kits.
Oh, certainly. I think we have maybe a few left. Those would be in the back. And anything for anyone else?
Well, I should like to find a very nice hat. Do you have any, like a seaman's hat or something of that nature? Nothing too fine of quality, you understand.
Are you thinking sort of a tricorn thing, maybe something more bows or feathers, or...
Oh, if you do have a tricorn, that would be most splendid.
Roll me a d20, Indigo. And he will scutter off to look in his inventory as you guys explore the fabric options. Ooh. All right. And after a minute or two, he will scuttle on back, and he will have what looks like two leather satchels about yay big, maybe the size of a takeaway box. and he will put those two on the desks near Maya. We have 2 of them in stock right now. Each of them are 10 gold apiece. And he also will, in his other hand, carrying 2 rather nice-looking hats, both of them tricorns. So the first one he lays down is rather streamlined, a very dark brown in color with a navy blue ribbon around the top that goes off into a sort of grayish black feather, maybe 6 or 7 inches or so. The other one, and you guess he would have had a bit of trouble carrying it, is a bright ruby red hat with just piles of white feathers on top of feathers. If any of you ever read the Dr. Seuss book of Bartholomew Covens and the hats that when he took it off, an even fancier hat would appear, it's practically the last hat. Maybe okay, we'll say, I forget what the number was, but we'll say it was 100. We'll say this is like 88, so it's pretty high up there.
I immediately grab the ruby red hat and just hold it up and say, "Oh, this will be perfect, right?" And I look over at Fable.
I'm like this. I'm like, no, go with the other one. How can you fight in that?
What? I would look magnificent.
A strong wind will carry you away.
Yeah.
Is it like way too big for me, or what? How is it like? Size?
You try putting it on, and you feel some of the feathers tickle your tail as it dangles on the ground.
As it like falls over my eyes, I just kind of like look up, like underneath, like the brim, as it's like over my eyes, and say, "Oh, I suppose you do have a point, yeah, but it's quite magnificent, sir."
But the other one looks quite dashing on you.
Oh, well, let's find out. Put it on my head.
Yeah, and you put it on, and you get the feeling that this one was actually sized for someone of a smaller stature, perhaps a gnome or a halfling. And although you're maybe a little smaller, your ears actually help keep it in place rather nicely.
Well, very nice. Do you have like a looking glass? That's what they call it. Right?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't. But
Not worry, I have you covered. And I'm going to out an illusion of him wearing the hat, but like looking a little bit more buff than he is like normally, and like a little bit more square jawed. But it's just like he's like 10% more attractive than he normally is.
Yes, this is exactly how I look. Magnificent. Your magic comes in very handy. I will take it. How much for the hat, sir?
Say 8 silver.
Well, for a head of this quality, I would be happy to give you a gold.
Well, before you make, if we bought something in bulk, perhaps we could get a small discount for being pillars of the community ourselves.
I'm already handing him a gold piece.
I mean, I don't think we've met before.
Well, I am now working with them, and we're working with the fair captain. What was his name? Captain?
Fireborn.
Fireborn. We have become agents of Captain Fireborn, and maybe, okay, you know, you're right. I have not made proper business with you. Maybe instead of a discount, you can give us some information instead, along with our purchases.
I can certainly try.
I don't know if you know, but there was a theft recently at the captain's house.
Oh, I hadn't heard. It's been a bit out of the way, out of town. Word doesn't always get to me very quickly. What was taken?
Various books and other things, but the real danger is if someone is brave enough to break into the captain of the guard's house. I mean, what store and other businesses are safe? This is horrible for the economy. Do you not agree?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that, but it certainly would be rather dangerous for... I mean, I don't even have many other, employees. It's just myself out here by myself, and with me and myself and selfie. So...
Yes, so we believe that the perpetrator used a rope, a grappling hook in the rope to break in. And you have such a wide assortment of tools for all occasions. I assume that you possibly sell those. So I was wondering if you sold one of those recently, within the past 2 days. It was like 2 days ago already.
Yes, night before last. Well, I do carry those. Let me just look in my ledger really quick to see if I can jog the old memory. And he will again tuttle away.
Get him, Gibbs.
Hmm?
I said, get him, Gibbs. Check out the Twitch chat.
While he's back there looking for stuff for them, can I wander around the store and look for a nice, like, sturdy pair of gloves?
Oh, sure. I will say, without rolling, you can find a nice set of gloves that seem to fit you pretty well, made of a rather nice, lighter-skinned leather. Rather buttery, not the most aesthetically pleasing, but they are very comfortable and fit you well.
So we really need touching undead skeletons and things with the hands not so great. Plus,
Alright.
we learn from the Luckstone.
Perhaps
So
if
I
you
was
wore like a full body leather suit, the bridge may not like affect you.
No. Good suggestion, but no.
Just a thought, sir.
No.
All right, and Winston comes back. All right, I looked through my records, and it turns out I did actually recently sell the apparata you were describing. It was to another stranger in the town. He just simply gave the name Smith, I'm afraid, so I can't really assure you if that was legitimate or not.
Do you remember what he looked like?
Oh, let's see. He had mostly a sort of blue get-up, a bit of a fur lined around the hat, a bit of a darker complexion. Although he did have, let me just give him a little check for how perceptive he was. Ooh, pretty perceptive. He also had a few weapons on him too. Seemed like he knew how to use them too.
Did he look like this? And I turned the buff Monterey into the merchant dude.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that was the fellow right there. Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Good. Well, you keep your eye on him if he comes back. Do not say anything to him. Contact the guards, but hopefully we shall apprehend him soon.
Oh, all right. And you think this fellow was the thief then?
I do. We do. Yes.
Ooh. Well, if you happen to see the captain, please be sure to extend my apologies for possibly unknowingly aiding in the liberation of some of his goods. It won't happen again.
No blame shall come to you, sir. You couldn't have known.
All right.
I'm gonna get the medicine kits.
Okay, 20 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this guy's shop? You said he was on the outskirts. Is this on the same edge of town as where our potential house would be, or is it like the other side?
So yeah, if you imagine Saltmarsh as kind of a small town, he is on the edge of the actual city part. The house on the hill is maybe a couple miles further down the road to the north. It is on the same side of the bridge, though, if that helps.
But this is still in the city, right? It's just on the outskirts.
On the outskirts, yeah. There's no actual wall or anything, but yeah, this is one of the last things before it just turns into fields.
Okay. Where the man moves out.
I just kind of lean over towards Fable a little bit and say, do you think perhaps maybe he could be a resource or a contact for rebuilding the home if we were to...
Certainly, he has tools, right? I don't know about making things, but...
Well,
yes.
Merchant to merchant, perhaps you could, do some sort of a deal for us.
I think you're kind of putting the horse before the cart here, or the mouse before the pirate ship. But for sure, though, that's a good idea. When we actually get the house in the future, then we can make that
I have no doubts.
Also, I'll be taking the gloves.
Well, yeah, then it's up to you. Oh, you will. Oh, I thought that was a question. I'm sorry. I said, "Are we taking the gloves?" But that was an "I'll be taken." Okay, accents. All right. All right. That will be it'll be 6 silver.
I give him 6 silver because apparently I have 26 of them.
All right,
Alright.
and then who needed a costume? It was I think I have my stuff covered. I have enough like odds and ends,
Monterey.
right? Conrad, I have enough odds and ends. Then Monterey needed something. Syd needed something, and then
No,
I don't think Syd does.
Sid gonna be okay?
Syd will be fine.
what about
I think it was just Monterey.
Well, we wanted to remember we wanted to change our look to not scare away the merchant.
I mean, I will say that Syd has, since he's like established in this town, he has multiple outfits, and so he can actually change to look a little more grungy if he needs to.
So just to pretty much
Just the person decked out in Royal Navy kit, yes.
just the mouse and what about spacing out.
Maya? Omiros?
No, Omiros.
Come on, you can do it. I haven't been going that long. You can do it.
Omiros. Omiros is coming in, right?
You know, I've been in here, but Omiros, I don't. Unless you tell him he needs another outfit, he's in basically a kilt and a vest with a spear.
I just realized even if I give you like a fake mustache, you're still a satyr. So
You're still a goat man. So.
it's not like a lot of satyrs hopping around, right? So
Yeah.
okay.
But
So
I
mainly
was amenable to him.
Mouse.
So I look to Jack. All right. So if you don't want to be a street mouse, we can kind of make you a merchant. Maybe a merchant.
So the picture that I posted of the hero forge in the Saltmarsh channel, that's basically what he is going to transform himself into. So like a kind of a puffy shirt, he's going to have some pantaloons, a nice sash around his waist. You know, I'm going to find a nice little cigar to jump onto, and then I'm going to actually see if he's got any earrings or something like that around the shop, and then I'm going to hand 3 of them over to Fable and say, okay, you said something about biting my ears or like trying to eat them or something, and perhaps maybe we could put these ear hoops in there instead, and that would finish off this disguise.
Okay. Can we make that outfit from this stuff?
I will say yes. If we're going with jewelry and stuff, I will say Monterey, for all of this sort of kit, it'll cost 2 gold.
Okay.
So you have to pierce your ear.
Well, that's your responsibility. I don't offer that service here.
So I gave it to the cat man.
I'm sharpening my claws. And
This is ultimate
Or
dress.
would you like the does Maya have her ears pierced? I don't think Maya has it. Maya doesn't have ears.
Doesn't she?
you have like
Oh,
No,
you
she
have
has
fins.
heels.
They're like
She has
fins.
fins.
you have like fin ears.
Yeah.
Do they flap when you're swimming?
I mean, Maya, do a medicine check to see if it's possible if you have cartilage.
But I
Okay.
can find pictures of trades with like ears.
Fish don't have cartilage. But since I'm part human, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, you're not like
medicine.
Yeah, you're not
Okay.
actually.
You keep saying you're a fish. You're not a fish person. You're a triton. You just happen to live underwater.
Why did it roll
It's a
twice?
trait.
Oh,
There's
I know
definitely
why.
pictures of a lot of tritons with piercings.
Yeah, 12 is fine. You can have piercings if you want them, Maya.
Okay, I'll have piercings.
And that's because while I love Maya's picture, her picture is more akin to merfolk than triton. Tritons in 5e D&D look almost exactly like people. Like normal people except for the blue.
Blue. So Monterey, would you rather have me, who has her ears pierce your ears, or your ear, or do you want Catman?
Oh, I have piercings.
Oh, you do?
You kidding
No,
me?
I already gave the jewelry to Fable and asked him to do it.
Listen, it's been a while since I looked at your profile picture. Okay.
Well, even if I go to I believe in my what's my description?
It's in your token.
I
Yeah.
thought I had a description of myself too. I think it was
It's
in
like
the
this
the
big,
roll
okay,
20.
on my screen.
It was the roll 20. It didn't get crossed over to the appearance. I'll have to get that.
You guys don't like my picture of Monterey? Come on now. It's dashing.
I mean, you have some pretty luscious locks on that
Yes.
token.
He does have luscious locks. That's the first thing that I noticed.
He's a swashbuckler. He's got to have his hair flowing. You know what I mean? Come on.
Oh my god. All right. All right. I guess for me, I'll look around. Is there anything that I could potentially buy to resell at a marketably higher profit margin?
Roll me. I'm going to say a D100.
Okay. You know, like a knickknack that I could add some lines to or something. Or just resell to some hapless.
Just anyone you walk past. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we need money, man, y'all. We need money, right?
He just
You know,
described
like,
everyone that's not Fable.
If there's some like douchey noble in there that's like, ugh, and I'm like, here's a magical artifact, then he buys it for 20 gold.
Tell him it's a money attractor. If he
What are they
holds it,
called?
he'll find money.
Trinket.
And then just like throw a couple copper pieces around.
It's true. Ooh.
Let's see. All right. You find among a bunch of knickknacks a small wooden statuette of a rather smug-looking halfling. He has both of his thumbs under what looks like suspenders, and he has a large double cigarette smoker coming out and a rather dashing large brim hat. And he has a very jaunty pose to him.
Perfect. I'll get it, yeah.
It's like my
Well,
kind of
how much is it?
That we'll see. 4 silver.
Are you married to that price?
Not entirely, but I'm also still waiting to see if you want to buy any of the fabrics you're looking at.
Oh, I thought we bought Indigo.
Oh, I thought Monterey. So I thought when I pictured Monterey's thing, like that's his fancy stuff, which is the exact opposite of what you were going for. Is what I
know,
thought.
but I felt bad. So he's buying the fancy stuff. I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna change his face. And he's gonna have those clothes.
It just
So
looks
fine.
more like standard seafaring kind of garb instead
Red
of
pirate robbers, etc.
yeah.
I think our only objective was to
It's
not
like
be
not all
noticed by
black.
that. That was our only
Okay.
objective, So yeah.
In that case, we'll say Monterey's outfit is done.
I mean, I guess I'll pick up some fabric just to have for like possibly future.
You guys do have a bag of holding, I will remind you.
Yeah. Okay. So if I look around, I want to have like enough to like make a couple of good costumes for me or some other people. So I don't know how much.
Okay.
If I bunch stuff up, and then, yeah.
So I will say you can buy as much material as you want. Up to 10 gold worth of material is available. You can buy less if you want, but I will say, like, if you say I'm going to use my material to make a outfit, we will mark off gold
Okay.
worth of.
Yeah, 10 gold is fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So 10 gold
And
is
that-
silver.
And that'll include the. He'll throw in the trinket for free with the 10 gold purchase.
And if I also look around, does he have any like paints or like old like gold leaf, like something? You know what I mean? Something that I could kind of adjust up the statue to make it look more valuable.
Ooh, definitely not gold leaf.
Like an
This
old. Like, frame,
Not that
right?
kind of store. He actually something really quick.
As he's kind of looking for ways to like make improvements to this little figurine, I'm kind of like just been watching it in his hand as he's kind of walking around the shop, and I just kind of walk over to him and say, "Yeah, you know, sir, that statue is quite fetching. It's very striking pose on that little halfling. I'd be happy to give you 6 silver pieces for it."
Well, let me take other offers first, and we'll see.
Monterey, roll me a history check.
You mean?
You.
No, the other Monterey.
I'll do that.
I'm sure you get over a 20.
Oh yeah, your
It's an
history checks have been
intelligence check, so
legendary.
6. Not so legendary on this one.
Okay. You do like the cut of this halfling's jib.
He's a very jaunty halfling.
He really is. I lost my train of thought. So, is there anything else I can do to help you? I would insist that if you're going to do any of the piercings, you do it outside of the shop.
Well, I guess we need an awl to do so. We need like a little awl to pierce right, or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Or I have a needle probably in my disguise.
You can use the earring. I've
yeah,
done that
I'll
before.
say you have a needle in your disguise kit.
You got
All right.
claws. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
Claws,
not
you got daggers,
sanitary.
you got so many weapons.
That is really not
Or
sanitary.
literally just the earring.
I mean, as long as you were digging in a litter box right beforehand, it'll be okay. You know.
Well, I mean, to do a pierce, you don't want to have something that like wide, gets larger as it goes down the shit. You know what I mean? You want something that's the same.
Trying to gauge here. We're going full gauge.
I can use your own gauges. No, that is good. Thank you so much. You are They said, watch out for that merchant, and perhaps in the future we might be having a interesting business in the future. So we might be back to you to maybe do some bigger provisioning projects, but that's in the future.
I'm always eager to establish new relationships with trade, so whenever you have need, just come on over to Old Winston's.
Well
As,
done.
as Maya's leaving, she's like, bye, Winston.
Bye, Maya. Say hi to your mum for me.
I will.
Does everybody know your mother?
I mean, we've lived in this town for 10 years, so if they don't know her, then they're new, probably.
Oh, and by the way, Fable, if you've wanted to dress up, something wood, you may want to talk to someone from, maybe a carpenter's guild.
I guess
Like, Syd.
Just friendly hint.
Sid's standing there just evil eyeing you the whole time, like, really, dude?
Just kind of buffing his nails a little bit.
All right, let's with that shade being thrown in Fable.
All right. So it's still the afternoon at this point. You guys do have a lead, and in fact, a bit of a date with a Captain Zenderos this evening at the Empty Net. Is there anything else you would like to do in the meantime?
I mean, I need to get these disguises up. I need to make myself, Jack, and Syd look different. Like face,
Syd has stuff, probably.
Well, he has stuff, but
Oh.
his face. Like, just do some maybe like an eye patch, or get some color in one of her hairs. Just do stuff to
To dirty me up a little bit. I dig it.
I thought.
Oh,
So
sure.
you still want to be a street mouse? I thought you wanted to go for a more like merchant vibe.
Well, perhaps someone that just, came off the ship, spent some time at sea.
Okay, that can do that. And we also need to pierce your ears, so let's get to that.
Okay, so I'm ready.
Oh, Rose. Okay, I'm gonna put the needle here. You punch the needle, okay?
We should probably numb it
Okay.
first.
Yeah. We'll go to your house.
Oh, yeah, go to mine. Yeah.
Maybe some alcohol on your. Maybe okay. We'll go to Syd's house.
Perhaps I could ask your mom.
No, I'm good at. Trust me, I'm good at this.
Yes, but do you have the motherly touch?
I have the touch of someone who's pierced his own ears before.
It sounds good to me. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. What roll? Sleight of hand or disguise kit?
We'll say sleight of hand.
I will guidance myself for this.
Okay. And we will see how many piercings Monterey can stomach.
Jesus Christ, I really needed that.
Okay.
Let's roll 1d4.
So that's a 9.
That didn't count. That wasn't. That was weird.
Okay, what's that one?
It's because I did the wrong.
Okay.
So.
So a 12. So I imagine that with a little forethought, you guys think to numb it as well as sanitize everything. With the things with your newly purchased medicine kits, you're able to sanitize the needle in Fable's sewing kit / disguise kit. And with just barely more of an from Monterey, there is now a new hole in his body along. Which ear would you like, Monterey?
I was gonna try and do 2 in the left ear and then 1 in the right ear, like in the tops of my ears.
Okay, so I imagine we'll start with the right one, and Fable, you do the classic 1, 2, and do it before getting to 3.
Oh, is it done? Oh, did you get all 3?
I'm just like, and one. I'm loading up at all.
Oh,
All right.
you got all 3 in, right?
Oh, that was just one.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Oh, there's more? Oh.
Omiros, slap him in the face. This is the next one.
How is that going to help?
Trust me, it helps.
You're not
Would you like to
God.
squeeze my hand, Monterey?
I will keep guiding myself.
Okay, I'm ready for the next one. Oh.
15. This one is notably, it seems much more smooth than the first one, and there's less jiggle on the withdrawal.
Okay. We're all done now, right?
No, the other ear.
Oh. Okay. This is all for the sake. We have to sell this.
Stop moving around.
Oh. Oh.
So with an 11, this last piercing gets a little close to the one you just did, and there's slight concern of them maybe turning into 1, but it's there.
Like as soon as it goes through and like it's clasped, I like jump up out of my seat and I'm like, ah, assassin! And I just like run out the door.
All right,
That-
Maya,
Okay.
Yes.
your turn.
I have mine pierced. Thank you.
Is anyone gonna run and try and grab him?
I'll be back.
You'll be back.
Yeah,
I
I
will
get
stand at the door and make sure.
They're like, yeah.
I get another slice of cheese, and I'm like, here, Maya, just wave that to the air.
Just hang it in the doorway. I'll come around.
But I guess we're at Maya's house, right?
I think we went to
Syd's apartment.
Syd's
Okay, I
apartment.
was like,
I wasn't sure where we were, so I'm just gonna use the privy. Just watching them because I mean I think recently I did take a dip into the water once more, so that
You
was
need a
fun.
bath?
I do.
I'll just.
He wants to use.
Okay,
his
you owe me a
magic.
favor. I shall repay it at a future time. And I
He
will
starts
make
walking
magic
towards you
cure.
like this.
My paws start to, like they look like again like kind of like oceany.
Wax
like
on?
there's this like, and then it starts like sucking the water off into like these like blurbs of ocean water on my paws.
He walks at you going, tune in Tokyo.
No.
And I shall make you smell like lilac. There you go.
It's actually very nice. Although, do you think it clashes with that ginger's now? Lavix Vapor Rub.
I mean,
I-
there's lavender and there's floral scent fix rubs.
I don't know. I heard ginger was the main ingredient in what Ethel gave me, so I was like, this might clash. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Ginger is very overpowering. Might not clash. It might just cover it up.
Exactly. That's true, too.
Oh, well, in any case, Fable, should we start making a start on the disguises
Oh, yes.
or what have you?
All right. I guess I'll just. He's running around. I'll just save.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me a disguise kit check.
I'll be back shortly.
My disguise kit for almost is just basically put on an actual
Do
shirt.
you want me? Is
maybe.
that with? They don't have anything in here, but is that with Dex?
Oh,
or-
yeah, usually you usually have to decide what it is. So this will be, I'll make a dex with proficiency.
Okay. So I'll just roll.
You could just do sleight of hand.
Yeah, it's just like-
Oh, there you go. We do the first
it
roll.
just rolls twice. It just rolls
Okay.
twice. for some reason. Yeah, the first one was 20.
Okay. So with a 20, you start to pull out. For this one, actually, no. You go through Syd's actual wardrobe and see what's available, and you gather some of the darker colors, and you find out what he doesn't particularly care about as far as garments. And you take one of them, and you just start slashing it with your claws, making it kind of jagged on the edges, making it seem much less put together. You get some fake dirt and start. Go ahead.
Well, before we dirty him up, you actually gave me a funny idea. I just want to make him like super goth. Can I just turn him super goth? You said like black clothes, We'll just like lay on the eyeshadow.
With the
Oh,
with the dirty 20, I will say yes.
Thank you. Okay. Just become the town weirdo.
oh, I can't wait for Syd to come back next week and
He
find
does
out.
put his foot down when he tried to paint his fingernails.
and then I will try to make myself look more like a street rough, like kind of like a street ruffian, basically.
Okay. Give me another sleight of hand check.
19.
Okay. And another one.
Wow.
Okay. So with the 19, you're able to, if you want to, well, you could, if you wanted to, try and take some of the things of Syd's to use on yourself, as he is rather busy getting dressed up himself, if you wanted to.
I mean,
Hi.
yeah.
So,
Well, a little thing there, a little thing there.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're able to disguise your unassuming merchant facade into more of a tough look overall.
Yeah, cool.
And at this point, maybe an hour and a half has passed. Monterey, have you returned at this point? There is cheese sitting on a windowsill.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of dealing with getting Omiros all ready to go, you suddenly just see a sword kind of at the rope that's holding the cheese, and the hand like pop out, catch the cheese. And a few moments later,
you good, little man?
yes, the cheese is helping.
You know, I've seen
sit
you. I swear I've seen you take much more severe injuries than that before, but you didn't react nearly as dramatically.
Ears are sensitive.
A mouse's
All ears
ears
are
and a mouse's tails are not to be trifled with. This is 100% dedication to the cause.
I just realized something. When you pierce your ears are red for the rest of the day.
I'll powder them. I'll powder them up.
And mice ears are so vascular; they're just like
Mhm.
tomatoes.
Yeah, they're probably like boom, 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 boom.
I'll powder.
Yeah,
I'll lay some foundation down. Let's make you look like more swarthy and like I'll put an eye
I would
patch
say
on it.
put some ice down first. Try and get the redness down before you put foundation, so
Okay.
you don't have to waste makeup.
We can do that. I'm gonna make him look. I'll give him an eye patch and.
Maya, did you ever take Ray of Frost? Did you end up switching that out?
I think I tried, but for some reason it wouldn't let me. Did I take? I did take it out. Okay, I did take it
Okay.
out.
Yeah. So we can say that finding ice is actually not very easy, but finding water is very simple. So you just grab some water and you start Ray of Frost again, freezing it, and you apply it to Monterey's ears.
Oh wait, no, it didn't add. It
You
didn't
can
add.
just say that you took it, and then
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
we figure out
'cause-
the technical stuff later.
Yeah.
Do you kind of want a Jack Sparrow thing right now for this? Jack?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll Jack Sparrow up Jack.
just a little more parody than I normally am.
More piratey than Jack Sparrow.
No, more parody than I normally am.
Oh yes, okay.
How more parody can you get than Jack Sparrow?
Depends on the pirate you're trying to go.
Should I roll another?
Oh yeah.
Not even Johnny Depp is to be Jack Sparrow anymore.
Oh man, you are Jack Sparrow.
All right. So Fable painstakingly goes through Monterey's luscious locks and starts getting them into these just nappy dreadlocks that are never going to come undone. But he gets just so involved in the end result, he just doesn't really pay attention to the fact that this is possibly a permanent thing. And he gets the braids going. He gets the shirt extra poofed. He gets the hat. He does eye makeup. He even finds a maybe a little bit of gold leaf to put on one of your two front teeth, making it gold. And you look like quite the piratical character, Mr.
Got
Jack.
eyeliner.
Oh
and
yes, oh
everything.
yes.
It's almost like I go into a fugue state, and like my eyes might even go completely black, like summoning my powers, and I'm just like, yes, this. There's like orchestral music playing, and I just totally absorbed in this, and then I'm like exhausted.
Don't forget the gun.
I sit down. That is the best work. Nothing would ever be better than this.
I'm just kind of standing there for a second. It's like, that was
I need a drink.
incredible. The transformation is Magnificent. I'm gonna do my best Captain Jack impersonation from now on.
So at this point, there is Maya and there is Omiros. Are either of you going to be doing anything to alter your appearances?
I'm going invisible in the net place.
Fair enough.
Can our master, our prop master here, clothing wardrobe master, give me some poofy pants, like parachute pants, pretty much, because don't really want tight clothing when I've got nothing but fur downstairs.
Can we just be like a big like a big coat and hood, and maybe put some like shoes on you so you're not flopping around?
I'm not wearing shoes.
What about some like sandals?
We can put me in a giant poncho.
What about
Totally
those,
fine with
like,
that.
those hoof
Not wearing
silencers? They got those hoof silencers for horses, right?
May not be a horse.
But the
And I'm gonna clomp with pride, you bastards.
Can you not clomp on hardwood?
Yes, I cannot clomp on hardwood. There's an entire part about body control as a monk.
Oh, that's what here.
You're
Show
supposed
us.
to have a lot of control over your own body as a monk. And yes, I cannot clomp on hardwood. It's called a light touch.
All right, let's see it then. I'm very interested to see this now.
Dance, goat man, dance.
Why would I dance? There be no dancing from the goat man.
I just
walk around then.
You just walk around?
That's all.
Just walk around lightly. Oh.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay, stealth check. This is weird.
It's funny. Come on, just dance.
And it rolls twice.
So there's a bit of a. It's almost like he's kind of dragging his hooves a little bit, so it's like.
Definitely gonna need some kind of silences.
So okay, here's my question. We're not sneaking into the tavern. We're walking into a tavern. Why the fuck do I need to be quiet in the first place?
We just do not want to give away our identities, that's all.
I'm a fucking satyr. I've got horns and green hair. There's no hiding my identity.
All right, well,
Perhaps
I guess
if
I
we
can
put a
also
different
make you
kilt on
invisible
you.
if that.
Also,
I could make
here's also an important point. Another important point. We're going to go meet a woman who's met all of us before.
It's not her I'm worried about. We were originally going there to question the local ruffian crowd and also potentially capture this merchant guy who's shady.
Okay, we're gonna do that. But I mean, me and you know people. The people who really need the disguise, Navy Mouseboy, and our two resident people.
But the merchant has seen
this.
us. The merchant has seen us.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that we know his stuff. I mean, we even said we would possibly see him in town when we let him go.
Okay, fine. Okay, at very least, just put in a poncho on.
You know what? I'll go naked. Fuck you. No.
Then I will make you invisible.
Naked Tater.
But yeah, fine. I'll put on a poncho. There. These me this guy. Give me a poncho.
All right, and all of you are decked out just as about the sun is starting to set.
All right.
Let's mosey on over, right?
Yep. So from Syd's house, the empty net is in fact also in Southside. And you guys begin the walk, and you find that the empty net is actually just across the street from the quartermasters of IU's. And you see a rather large half-orc individual standing outside the front door. And he gives all of you a bit of a look as you walk up. Maya, at this point, are you already invisible?
Well, Maya's gonna act like she's gonna keep walking.
Okay.
And then, like, turn a corner, turn invisible, then walk back.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you keep on walking. The other four of you. The half orc looks all of you up and down.
All right. How's it going?
Sure, right.
We're looking for a hard ale. Is the place?
And he knocks on the door twice, and it opens, and he steps aside for all of you.
Oh,
I just
as we're going in, I'm gonna go ahead and use a bonus attack real quick and change the earth stance.
Okay.
Just in case we get into any type of scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
This makes it hard to push. Increases the AC.
So you guys enter the empty net. This establishment that appears to be honestly just made of driftwood or whatever a person could find and didn't have to pay for. It is a establishment on stilts above the waterline itself, just slightly off of a cliff. The building is maybe 30 feet above water level or so. And you look inside, and it is a rather rowdy looking dive bar, particularly due to one sort of collection of seamen in the corner. And they are singing songs and banging glasses against the table. And you see a few other individuals, but none of them match your description of Ned Flanders. However, you see the bartender, a rather beady-eyed looking gentleman, bald on top with one eye slightly larger than the other, keeps his large eye focused on the people who just walked through the door.
Just gonna make my way over to the bar, looking this beady-eyed man in the face, and says, "We come for ale, yeah."
Oh, sure. What ale you say? So, 1, 2, 3, 4 ale for you.
Mm-hmm. Or ale, then a shot of whiskey.
That'll be 9 silver.
I hand over 9 silver.
You see he goes back under the table, and you see the clinking of glass, and eventually 4 not dirty mugs are produced filled with ale, and a tin tumbler of whiskey is put down before filled with a amber liquid.
Knock the whiskey back, grab the ale, head toward the table.
And is Maya in there yet, or?
Maya, you have the interesting situation of being visible, but the door is closed.
Yeah, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I said I'd have to wait till someone goes in.
Roll me a d20 just for luck.
That'd be fun.
2 hours later, Maya's outside. It's so cold out here. I'm so alone.
I guess she's not invisible anymore.
15.
15. Okay. You don't see anyone at the moment, but you're keeping an ear out. You're kind of standing near the large half-orc who's guarding the door, and he just seems to be rather bored. You see him pick his nose a couple times and also just like kind of pick at his large tusk coming out from his mouth. But he doesn't seem to notice you, especially as you stay invisible. But meanwhile, the other 4 of you, you are inside the empty net. Is there anything you would like to do?
Do we
I think at
see
first
our
we-
lovely patron?
Sorry.
Our lovely lady patron we're supposed to meet. Is she already in here or no?
You do not see her yet.
I think we should take like a corner. Is there any corner tables kind of open?
There would be, yes.
Okay, maybe kind of take one of those and just start drinking and just kind of getting the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And listening in on people who are not singing sea chanties at the top of their lungs.
Why don't 3 of you roll me a perception check?
sexy.
Oh gosh.
Good. Nice rolls. So the three of you start listening around for things, and it is rather difficult with how loud. It appears one crew has just come in from a long voyage, and they are spending their new coin at a very rapid pace, trying to get themselves as drunk as possible, and that seems to be the big to-do. And you try and listen in to other conversations, and what you hear is a pair of fishermen, rather a wizened pair of gentlemen, who appear to be talking about a very familiar topic, actually. The topic of apparently smugglers being found out in the old haunted house. And they are types who are sort of complaining about it's you can't really tell if they're happy or sad about it. They're the types who don't like any sort of change, but also who are these new people trying to come in and change what our town is and all that sort of thing. However, at this point, maybe a few minutes in, Maya, you see a figure starting to approach the empty net, and you recognize her as Captain Zenderos. And before she's even 10 feet away from the door, you see the half-orc opens the door for her.
I kind of go in fast before she does.
Roll me a dexterity check with advantage.
Just read. Zenderos is who again?
She is the tiefling captain who owns the quartermaster's.
Okay, let me try. Let me do it again too. Please be better. Okay.
Much better.
Much better.
So without any sort of hiccup, you prepare yourself, and as he pushes the door open, giving you are able to duck under his arm and get into the establishment. It's maybe 10 minutes since your friends went in or so. And for the rest of you, you notice that all conversation except for those of this loud sailor party stop as the red tiefling woman bedecked in black enters the establishment. You see that she is wearing a very nice black velvet traveling cloak. Despite only having to cross the street, she appears to have done herself up somewhat and has her hair in a bit more of a fancier style off and on top of her head. And she catches you guys' eye at the table, and she walks over.
I get open, offer her a seat, and say, "What will you have drinking tonight? First one's on me."
How very kind of you. I think a red wine would be most sufficient.
It's alright. I go over to the guy at the bar. Say, "Be right back. I get you the wine."
Is it for her?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you see him scramble down, and you actually see him pull out a wine glass, notably cleaner than the glasses he gave you guys. And you see him take out a very old green bottle that is dusty, and he opens it and starts pouring it in. And he pushes it forward. No charge.
Alright then. Take the glass back over to her lady friend and say, "Man, you got that fool."
Thank you. So, any interesting developments since we last spoke?
Not much, but excuse the outfits and the change of accents. We are sort of here undercover.
Undercover? Who precisely are you trying to hide from?
Just a man we're looking for. You know how it is.
Remind me, did you actually tell her? Because I don't think you asked her about Ned when you saw her.
Maybe not.
I don't
We
think you
didn't.
did. No. Well, who is this man? I perhaps I could be persuaded to help you in your search.
Have you seen any other new merchants in town?
New merchants.
Also, he might be well armed. Maybe see he used to fight him.
Let's actually give her a roll. Alright. I did notice another stranger aside from yourselves, perhaps 2 days ago. He looked rather well armed for someone who's just wandering around. However, I have not seen him for the past 2 days. Why would you be looking for him?
He crossed the captain. Stole some things he shouldn't have. We're just doing a job for the captain.
Recovery
enterprise-
mission.
Sorry.
Recovery mission.
How enterprising of you to get on the good side of the noble captain of our
Of course.
dear city.
Always good to make friends in high places.
Does she sound like? How does she feel about Captain when she says this?
We know sort of what we did recover that letter that she wrote to the captain.
Omiros, you can roll me an insight check.
I would also like to have been studying her. As, she's going to come in, sat down, and speak.
Go ahead. Insight check.
I would roll an insight check, but I feel like Fable already knows what her deal is. Anyway, so.
So Monterey, you are getting very much into your character and have taken on the idea of being drunk maybe a little further than is wise, and you are just you've already taken half of your mug of ale, which for a mouse folk is a significant portion, and there is a little bit that's slopped over onto your whiskers at this point.
It's a very good ale that they serve here.
I'm sure. But for Omiros, when you hear her mention the captain, she seems to have and particularly you guys trying to possibly court his favor, she seems to regard that with approval and a bit of amusement.
And I read that letter. That letter was from her, right, to him about
Yes, it was.
using coercion against him and bribing him. He's not the brightest of men, but it's always good to have friends in high places.
This is true. So you're searching for the well-armed merchant who's a stranger to the city. And I suppose you've spent this time asking around anyone who has seen him, perhaps since the supposed break-in?
Yes, we have. We thought he might come here to possibly sell off his stolen merchandise.
Plus, we know a certain half-hen who works at a knife store who said he may have seen him and sold him the tools he may have needed to commit said crossing of the captain.
By halfling, I suppose you're talking about Winston?
Yeah, pretty much.
Never heard of the man.
A simple man, but an honest one, from what I can tell. Let's see. Perhaps we may have better luck with our bartender over there.
Of course you're very right. I was just getting a lay of the land for us, and I wanted to wait your arrival too. I didn't want to keep you waiting. By the way, so what you did have business to discuss with us, right?
There is something that may be of interest to all of you. It is I suppose you could call it another recovery option.
Do tell.
There was a ship that set sail from Saltmarsh perhaps less than 2 weeks ago. It was only supposed to go to one of the local islands and then return. However, it is now 4 days past due. There was something I was expecting for it to carry on its return trip. However, with it not returning, I am somewhat at a loss and a major inconvenience for things I had hoped to move forward.
It's pretty perilous on waters. I mean, could it have been pirates or a storm?
It very well could be. However, I gifted the captain with a certain charm that allowed him to make things easier to pass through undetected. Which leads me to believe that if something were to happen to the ship, it would be of a more natural cause. A storm, perhaps, as you said. Which would mean either they were blown severely off course, or, barring that, perhaps actually sunk into the ocean.
This is all very fascinating, but please tell me, what's in it for us?
Well, if you were
Monterey
to
pretending to be Captain Jack, come on.
if you were able to retrieve my parcel, I would be willing to bestow upon you all, let's say, 800 gold pieces.
I completely dropped the whole facade for like a second.
Perhaps that's a very generous offer, but maybe a trade? We are, as you know, we are in need of magical items.
I mean,
What? What was that?
Perhaps a ship. We could use a ship.
Don't bury the lead. Hold on. But yeah, but several magical items could worth more than that.
But a ship could take us anywhere.
Well, we need. That's one. Okay. For one, if you know, this could be an easy job. This could be a hard job. If to the bottom of the ocean, but we do have ways to retrieve an item. That might be a little bit more difficult if you get my meaning.
Oh, if you were to agree to this mission, then I would be willing to provide you the tools needed for... and she looks around. I noticed that your Triton friend is not present. Was this accommodation not to her preference?
She just had some other business to take care of.
Do you suspect she will be going with you on this mission?
Absolutely.
She could be quite invaluable in this sort of environment. But for the rest of you, I would be willing to supply you with potions which would allow you to breathe underwater. I was trying to think of a cooler way to say it, but my mind was blank.
That's very generous.
Be fishies
Also,
underwater.
we don't quite have a ship.
Indeed.
I was under the impression that Maya worked for a certain dwarf who was in possession of a serviceable vessel.
Serviceable. What does Syd think?
Maya's trying to hold back her laugh.
Yeah, Syd, mid-drink, just kind of starts coughing.
but didn't. He should be in much better state nowadays. Cause wasn't there talk about the whole someone from the guild was actually sent because
Someone
the one who was supposed to do the job,
They did say that.
Someone was slacking. Oh, hey, Jared, how's it going, man?
So it does appear that you have a vessel that you could perhaps persuade to be put on loan for yourselves. If you need to give him a slice of the profits, it only seems fair as it is his vessel.
Wasn't it damaged? Or is it fixed up now? Or?
It was already damaged, if you recall. It had no rudder. However, you guys do remember correctly that the Carpenters Guild has since finished repairs, and it has been declared seaworthy once more.
And what if we can't retrieve this item? What if it's gone?
Well,
But we have information on who maybe done this or stolen it.
that sounds like a conversation for us to have when it has actually come to pass. I do not enjoy talking about endless hypotheticals.
Just wanted to make sure our bases were covered.
They do that.
But in any case, and she stands up at this point, perhaps we should talk to Kreb and see if he has any more information about your humble merchant.
If you would be so kind, you seem to have great respect in this place. Yes, a word from you would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
She stands up and she almost sort of glides her way to the bar. And you notice that the barman, who is doing a very strenuous job of looking busy and keeping his eyes down. Omiros, you see her lean over the bar, and one of her hands appears with very long black painted nails and just sort of clicks her talons against the bar, which draws his attention. What can I get for you, Captain? No, Mr. Kreb. I have interest in a certain stranger who has come into this town, well armed, proclaiming himself as a merchant, possibly showed up a little bit before a certain break-in at the captain's quarters. You wouldn't happen to know anything about such an individual, would you? And we're gonna see. So Kreb says, yes, I think I know who you're talking about. He came in here maybe 3 nights ago trying to get just, general lay of the land, they'll get all Saltmarsh and trying to figure out what's what. And was talking to a few people, but apparently he had business out of town in the woods a little bit north, and he said he wasn't going to stay very long. Paid nice and up front, though, for the drinks. Didn't stiff me or anything. And is there anything else you can possibly tell us about what he might have been hoping to achieve? Perhaps any people he knew in this town? No, Captain. He didn't mention any names or anything. He really presented himself as a stranger, and he just seemed to want to know, honestly, a bit. And he looks at Omiros. Is there as anyone else? Okay. He looks a little nervously at the two of you, but you both see the captain give a nod. He seemed to be on the lookout for any, easy pulls for some quick cash. Can you repeat that, Eric? You cut out.
Give Barton kind of a menacing look a little bit. Like, where would one sell merchandise on the down low around these parts?
You see Kreb give another look at the captain. As a matter of fact, our dear Kreb here is quite proficient in that regard, among his other talents.
That's a useful skill to have. You haven't come into any possession of maps of any sort, have you?
No, don't really. No, none recently, no. Just keeping bar, keeping out of big trouble.
My good man, we like trouble. We might come back to you in future time.
I'm just kind of in the background, just trying my best to look tough.
Well, very well, Kreb. Thank you for the conversation. And she puts out her hand on the bar and leaves behind a few gold pieces before going back to your table.
She is generous.
So, I have provided you a bit more information on your current job. What would you say is your interest level on the one I've presented to you myself?
Very high.
Yeah, I want to look around to the party. It seems... Does everybody's face look excited? We definitely need money.
Yes, take now. do now.
But I'll downplay it a little bit. I'll be like, I think we could definitely do business.
Prospect of the gold is quite interesting, but as I've said before, then it would be nice to somehow get a ship in the course of our
Have another drink in your mouth.
adventuring.
It's like a baby.
Well,
everybody wants a ship, but magic items, of course. A good relationship with you is the most valuable asset, it seems.
Well, my dear little mouse folk, I am afraid that ships, despite being made of wood, do not exactly grow on trees and cost many thousands of gold for one that is anything beyond a simple fishing vessel. So, but that is not to say that 800 gold is not a very solid foundation to build upon.
Sounds about solid to me. Very solid. And shiny and golden.
In any case,
Goods on this ship, you do not care about these.
no. The parcel that is of interest to me would have been found in a box about so big, rather thin. Kind of imagine how to describe it. It's almost like she's picturing a square about maybe 6 inches by 6 inches, but it's also like 2 feet long in one dimension.
So like a rectangle?
Holding like a paper or something. Or...
Perhaps a paper. Perhaps a very large scroll. That is one option. The box is supposed to be decorated with a rather intricate black serpent design on it.
That's distinctive.
The ship itself was known as the Sparrow's Song. However, it was... you may not find it under that name in any sort of legal ledger, if you catch my drift.
What are some of the names it goes by when it's wanting to be noticed?
I'm sure I don't know. I didn't deal with that side of the negotiations.
Easy enough. And where's this island that it went to?
It went back to my home, actually. The Rust... what did I call it? The Rust Chain Isles.
Something more than one.
Would I have heard of this place? Sailing?
I believe you already tried that last session.
Did I?
Yeah. I will say just general knowledge, though. They are, as you might surmise, a few days, maybe 5 or 6 days journey by boat from Saltmarsh to these isles. And you know that they are, just common knowledge, rather rocky, not very habitable as far as like farmland and such, which is what makes sense that they actually outsource a good amount of their food to feed their population, as they can't really be self-sustaining themselves.
There's a reason for the piracy. Okay.
Tourists, or are they just kind of a mercantile cities? Trade.
Very much trade. They are ideally located along several trade chains, and so they are very useful as a port town in between long journeys to resupply and such.
What's the specific town they're supposed to go to? Look.
Is Eric cutting out for anyone else his audio?
He's
A
just
little bit.
super
That's
low.
me.
For me.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. I said, is there a specific isle that they were supposed to go to that we could possibly look?
Hmm.
Town. Specific town.
You could try the Rust Chain Isles don't so much have traditional names as they are called the links of the chain. The one that this ship was bound for was the second link. You will be able to recognize it by two very tall peaks along the center of the isle.
And the captain's name.
The captain's name. I
Like
think
a
I will.
description, right? Like a name description. So.
Considering that I don't think. I mean, I will be honest. I do anticipate that this ship has sunk. And so I do not really see the importance of knowing the captain's name to all of you.
Well, if we go to the islands and the ship did go by a different name, it might be hard to identify. If you took a different route, it might be hard to identify the route if you don't know the ship.
Yes, but considering all of your efforts to get into here, I don't think you would find it outside of your abilities to contact some less reputable sources on the second link to use the true name of the ship and find out some information.
Can I do an inside check? Like, is she being? Do I think she's being dodgy about like captain or?
You can do an insight check, yeah.
Did this captain have a wooden leg?
Name Smith.
Smythe.
Oh, there it is. 11. It's tough to tell. She is actually a very difficult individual to read. And you think that it's possible she doesn't want to tell you the captain's name, but it's also possible that she just doesn't think it's important for this mission, and she is putting all of her bets on giving you guys water-breathing potions and hoping that you guys are able to find the wreckage.
I mean, in Fable's mind, there's like that's a possibility A. A possibility B is this guy stole this stuff and went off, so that's why he's trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look to Omiros because he's pretty perceptive and insightful. Trying to get kind of a little bit of some type of read from his face on what he thinks about the situation.
I like her. That's about it.
I like. She's very intriguing.
I will tell you, do you have a certain name you want to be called in this disguise?
Call me Claw.
Claw. The captain is an individual who I trust. If I am picking up your concerns correctly, I do not believe they would abscond with something that was owed to me, unless it was completely outside of their control.
Good to know. I just like to cover all my angles.
You can call me Sparrow.
How very
No, that's
appropriate. Well, hopefully you'll be able to find your song and my parcel.
You are very interesting. I'd be proud to have you on my crew one day.
Excuse him, he is extremely drunk. But he is a capable fighter, I can assure you.
Oh, I remember this morning when he was wielding my whip.
That was quite a surprise for all of us that ended that well.
Gonna be honest, this was quite a surprise. I mean, I wasn't hiding in the doorway for nothing.
Guys, I got things all under control, okay?
That's what he always says, and
You
then
need
I
to-
get a whip to the face.
You need to trust in the mouse man more often. We wouldn't be chasing this guy halfway across the continent if he just listened to me.
Mm-hmm. And you all see Zendros lean forward somewhat to get on Jack's level. You know, it is not very often that someone has such natural skill with such a underappreciated weapon. If you are interested, I may be able to find a model that would be more suitable to someone of your stature, if you were willing to complete this task for me as a show of friendship between myself and your illustrious group.
Sounds like a fantastic deal. Yes, my group and I will take you up on this offer.
Well, and she raises her glass, offering it out to all of you to toast. Well, this pleases me greatly to have such capable assistants in my corner. But now I fear the hour is growing rather late, and I prefer to open up my shop at a good hour. So, I bid all of you good evening, and if you do plan to go into the woods north of Saltmarsh, be wary of wolves. And with that, she takes her leave.
That was a great comment.
I'm like,
Almost was like, yeah, I can walk you home.
It's
I remember she's right across the street. I'm like, nope, she'll do that. She's right across the street.
you get to the door, she's already home. You're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, fuck it.
While all that was happening, Maya was gonna look around and see if there's if there's any information she can get, or if there's any secret doors.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
an investigation check then.
Yeah, I'm looking. There it is. Investigation.
I'm a little wide at the wolves comment just because I would know that wolves are natural
Ooh.
predators of ruins.
With a 17, Maya, you kind of trust your friends to be able to handle the conversation between Zenderos and what they're doing. And so you start going off on your own a little bit, still invisible, listening to conversations as well as kind of scoping the place. There is definitely some curiosity in you, as you've definitely never been allowed to come into this location before due to your mother, and kind of soaking up the atmosphere, just the smell of vomit and smoke, and that's probably urine. You don't think you may be returning to here anytime soon without a very, very, very good reason. You don't notice any sort of like secret passageways or hidden compartments or anything like that. But you do almost invariably get drawn to the raucous crowd of sailors who are taking up a good portion of the establishment. And you learn that they are members of a crew that is owned by Lord Primewater. Gellin Primewater, who you know is the man who is the one who organizes the feasts. And they seem quite contented in their lot. They seem to be well paid with good management and decent kind of, habitations on the ship. They're pretty well taken care of. And that is about what you learn.
When she notices the captain, I'm not going to try and pronounce her name because I will mess it up, knowing my accent.
Mm-hmm.
When she goes up to the barkeep and talks to him, she will kind of go closer to listen in.
Sure.
And then stay after to see how he kind of is after she leaves.
Mm-hmm. Now, after she leaves to go back to the table, or after she leaves the bar?
Both.
Okay.
She kind of just stays in that general area.
Okay. With your 17 investigation check, you notice that as she walks away back to her table, there is definitely a relaxing in his shoulders and just overall. But it's not until she actually leaves his establishment that he seems to actually like let go of a breath that he has been holding since she walked in. And you notice that he is like shaking himself off and kind of fanning himself. Despite being rather cold, there's not much insulation in this place. He was sweating profusely the entire time she was here.
He is scared of her.
That is a fair assessment.
He is scared. That's about it. She just walks around trying to get information.
Yeah. So all of you are now alone with your party at the corner table.
Maya kind of goes back after she leaves and just kind of like doesn't turn visible, but kind of just like lets them know that she's there.
Yeah.
By like tapping them.
Sure. And Maya, you have less than 10 minutes left on your invisibility, so that's on your mind.
Yeah.
think,
like 5 minutes before she turns visible, she'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave. Yeah.
Since you tell us that you're there, it's like I'll whisper it so that it's just to our table. When you need to leave, give my poncho a yank and I'll go out the door.
She'll kind of just do a tap, like alright, okay, make a sound.
When she taps me, I'm like in the middle of like this vision of Zendros being like on my crew, and I'd like jump a little bit. And when she taps me, I'm like, what? Oh.
He's a ghost. Be scared.
How dare?
I came all the way from the house, from the mansion.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you, sir?
You've got to stop offering everyone we meet a place on your future boat. Because I don't think we're going to have captains being like, oh, let's join the new captain's crew.
Well, I'll be a very famous captain myself one day, so...
That I have no doubt.
I turn to both Jack and Omiros with a much more serious look on my face than you guys have seen in a while. I look really deep into Jack's eyes, but also kind of glance at Omiros, and I go, no, I notice the lady is very charming and obviously a powerful person for us to be on friendly terms with, but I look really deep into Jack's eyes. I've known people like her most of my life. And let me say that she is extremely dangerous. You should not trust her at all. You guys must constantly be on guard around her. It's good to be friendly terms. She is not our friend, if that makes any sense.
She does want to give me a very nice website.
Yes, that's kind of like when like a cult gives you like some a welcome basket. Like you don't take the whip, but don't drink the cool whiskey. I don't know Kool-Aid would be fancy.
Here's a fruit basket.
Don't drink the mango punch. Yeah, take the basket. And she's very attractive, Omiros, but I really have to warn you guys that I have known many person like her,
but she seems so friendly.
She is friendly, but as you can see, even the rough crowd around here show her great respect.
I mean, as they should. She has very graceful movements.
Whispering
like a ray.
In a very whispering, like very softly. She's like, "It's not respect. They are scared of, not respecting. They're terrified."
You just like her for her
Emma.
horns.
What?
I look at you. You can. I'm being very serious. He's being extremely serious. This is like his mask is going down a little bit here for you guys, and he's like, again, I have known people like her most of my professional life. She is not someone to be trifled with, and I think it's good that we remain on friendly terms. But Jack, just have to watch it without offering people crew positions. And
I don't feel like I've just been offering it to everybody. She seems very capable and
You
would
asked-
make an excellent first mate or some other important role on my crew.
Maya's gonna like thump the ear that has the 2 piercings.
Ow! Oh, assassin!
Okay,
No,
roll a
that
d4,
was
Maya.
you.
It's gonna do some damage for a pierced ear.
I'm trying to
I know
do
that was you.
I love how every time Jack gets hurt by one of the crew, he's like, assassin.
3 points, Monterey.
Also,
Oh.
how much time do I have on the?
It's now less than 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Doesn't that
tug
count
on
as an attack
Omiros.
when she appears?
Ooh. Oh,
But
she
I wasn't doing it maliciously. I
that
wasn't
doesn't
trying to
matter. Maya, you suddenly appear in the bar.
Okay, I'm gonna try and hide.
I quickly. Oh shit! What do I? Okay,
Ren started
I-
yelling out
I quickly make
assassin.
an illusion of a bunch of like some big rats running across on the other side of the tavern.
Roll me a charisma check, and Maya, roll me that stealth check. And I'm going to say disadvantage as you are surprised yourself, and you're kind of in the middle of a room.
Me roll disadvantage or her?
No, a charisma is
No, me.
normal. Stealth is going to be disadvantage.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
17 for me.
I got 11.
Okay.
That's still not good,
Eh.
but I thought it was gonna be worse.
Maya, you just dive under the table really quick, and with a wiggle of his fingers, Fable starts to create a stampede of rats that just seem to come out from one end and run off to another, and it succeeds in getting quite a few people's attention. And you see several mugs start flying towards the rats, and you know that there is a bit of a hubbub, but you're not sure how long it'll last.
All right, time to go.
Yeah.
I can't leave. We spotted some rat folk. Oh, I must fight my nemesis.
We just push. I'm like, oh, I give Omiros a nod. I'm like, get Jack the fuck out of here.
Grab the
I'm like
mouse. Grab the
trying to
mouse.
pull my sword as I'm holding my ear at the same
All right,
time
thank
as
you.
they're
I
pushing
push
me
you
out the
off.
door.
You push me.
All right.
Maya's trying to hide between Omiros and Fable.
Okay. You guys are able to exit the establishment. There's a bit of a clatter even as the door closes behind them, and the half-orc gives a bit of an interested look. And you see him as you try to close the door, he stops and actually looks back in. Indigo, did you want to say something?
No, I was just
Okay.
saying hi to Quinn's brother.
Okay. Yeah, you guys find yourselves back on the street,
So what's now?
fully visible.
We have to find this merchant before we go on this other mission.
I've never run from a battle with the rat folk before.
It's not rat folk. So the one
Would
that
Maya
was
know
rats.
about the mission, or was she
That's what I said.
roaming around
Uh,
ours?
you would not have been able to hear unless you were at the table. She was speaking
Okay.
quite low.
So
Oh, did she give us potions?
no,
Not
not yet.
yet.
We'll have to go back to her place. Okay.
Maya's
No.
gonna be like, "What mission?"
She wants us to find a package that was supposed to be delivered to her. It's possibly the ship might have sunk, so we will have to go underwater.
And you're gonna give us potions of water breathing so we can. Should be a fun little adventure.
Oh, so y'all have potions, so y'all don't need me. Okay.
No, we would.
I mean,
need you. You
Can't
are.
come.
She's also going to give me a very fancy whip and join my crew as well. Ow, God, that hurts so bad.
What crew?
Should-
You have no
should not
crew.
grab-
Well, all of you, of course. Oh,
We are not your crew.
well, of course you are. Maya, I will put you in the brig if you do that again.
Maya kind of just
Real
like raises
talk.
her thumb. Doesn't do anything, but just like raises it.
Oh, it hurts already.
All right. Okay. We need to find this. Remember the merchant that you hate? Jack, we need to find him before we go on this other adventure. So,
That means adventuring into the woods, right?
She said the northern woods to the north of Saltmarsh maybe is where he was headed.
wait. I thought wasn't that? Sorry, I was confused by that. I thought that she was saying that before, like when he went to the mansion.
Krebs said that he seemed to that seemed to be the way he was heading.
Yeah.
Oh, after. Okay, so like recently. Oh, okay.
He did come from that direction as well, but that's also the way he went.
Got it. Oh yeah, let's go, right?
Did she also say that there were some wolves there?
She could
She
probably
said to beware of wolves.
probably bandits or something.
Well, I know
Everyone's
she probably
got
meant actual wolves. I mean, we're going to a forest. Makes sense for actual wolves to be there.
But wolves do not really attack folk like us, do they?
I mean, he's a mouse man, I'm a goat man, and you're a cat man.
And I'm
I
a
feel
fish
like we are
woman.
all prey species for said wolves.
Okay, we are not
Just-
a goat, a mouse, a cat, or a fish. We are all different. We have to just draw the line right now. We are different, completely different from these counterparts that are sort of like us.
No.
And a pack of wolves would eat a human just as well. So.
I do not think that's true, but fine, whatever. We deal with any wolves.
Hopefully, we have an easier time dealing with these wolves than we did with the snakes, spiders, scorpion, not scorpions, centipedes,
Centipede.
and
That is-
bandits.
Okay, I'm gonna rub some cheese all over Jack to make him more appealing to wolves. So they go for him.
That's
Sir, I just bought this shirt.
It's rubbing into your fur.
This will not help my ability to hide.
But it will help your ability to pick up on female mousefolk, you know, so we're all good to go.
Yeah, perhaps for like 2 days, maybe 3 at the tops.
Do you not shower
What?
or bath? Bathe. That's the word, bathe.
How dare you accuse me of such things?
And we're walking and talking, right?
Oh yeah. And in fact, this is a pretty good opportunity for us to take a quick 5-minute bathroom break.
Okay.
It is
So-
a good time for that 8 o'clock break. So everybody out there watching, please hang out and continue waiting for us. Most patiently, we'll only be back in a couple of minutes here. Just hang out and we will be right back, guys. All right, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for hanging out. Told you it'd be super quick. We are back, and we want to play another little round of D&D here. Go ahead and take it away, sir.
Yeah. So you guys outside of the empty net been given this new tidbit of information that possibly your quarry has traveled north of Saltmarsh into the woods. Is there anything you guys have expressed some interest in following him? Is there anything you would like to do before entering said collection of trees?
Stop and go in the. That's what I suggest to the group.
It is night, I will note.
I mean,
I think, every minute helps right now. Like, we can't let him
Yeah.
get too far ahead of us.
well, I guess we would stop and maybe you would tell your mother you're going to be camping.
Yeah, I was like, last time I left and didn't tell my mom I almost died. So,
Let's tell your mom. Maybe we'll get some like camping gear or something like that. I don't think we care.
yeah, let's go.
How,
We don't have camping gear, but we could probably get some blankets.
We have our
how dark is it outside? Is it so dark that I would need a torch to see? Because I don't have dark visions.
I mean, generally speaking, if you don't have dark vision, you're probably going to need a light source. There's maybe half moon and some stars, so you can see within like 5 feet of yourself. But unless you have dark vision, you're going to be struggling without a light source. You're walking at night.
Well, let's we can stop at the general store and get some basic vision.
Maya
they
and Syd,
closed?
it is closed. Most things close at sunset.
Well, I'm sure Syd has some. I mean, I have torches and stuff.
I have
you
them.
guys-
I'm just concerned about walking up in the middle of the woods with torches. It's kind of a beacon to come shoot me.
Well, I mean, yeah. So we can either spend the night. We can go in the morning if you guys want to do that, or we can just go head now and use torches, or you can just follow us.
You can be in the middle.
Yeah. And then if fight breaks out.
Because I know I have dark vision, and Fable has dark vision, and Syd has dark vision.
I think Omiros.
So Omiros and Monterey can be in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or, do what my suggested and go in the morning.
I'll light a torch if I need to.
It's safer.
Maya, if you're planning to tell your mother this new development, roll me either a persuasion check or some sort of charisma check to try and plead your case, as it were.
Can I, if I go with her, because my stuff's there.
That's disadvantage.
No. I want to basically kind of reassure the mother that she'll be safe.
Roll me a persuasion check of your own, Fable.
Okay.
You have to beat Maya's passive.
Passive persuasion?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so it's going to be, are you proficient in persuasion?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
I think you beat it anyway.
No, I am not.
Okay, and let's see, 18. Oh yeah, that's better than her passive. So Maya, if you want to roll that with advantage now, you can have a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion.
So it's just the bonus from the
I'm
related
so glad.
stat. It's just the bonus from the related stat plus proficiency. That's how you do that.
Plus 10.
Yeah.
Well, it's 8 plus proficiency plus, yeah.
Their bonus from the related stat.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it is 10 if it's passive. Okay.
So it's easier to give people advantage when they're worse than skill.
Very much so. That's how it works. So, Maya, you explain that to further help investigate the captain's break-in, you have a lead that may go cold very quickly, and so you'll be with all your friends. You guys are going to be as careful as can be. You don't mention the wolves, and
I'll say I won't use magic. Because yeah.
You lying to your mama? Mm?
Hey, no, I'm not lying.
so you're not going to use magic, huh?
I'm not lying, but I'm not telling the truth. What's that? I mean,
That's called
but
lying.
I'm not lying because I might not use it.
You are 100% using that. You just used magic an hour ago.
My mom does not need to know that.
That's lying.
Does her mother have a hooded lantern or anything? That?
You guys
No,
actually...
we wouldn't need because all of us are tridents. We wouldn't really need any.
Low light vision
lanterns.
is the same as dark vision, right?
Yes, there's no distinction in 5e.
Okay, but it's not. But it's still not like you can't see in the pitch dark. Like you might, people with low light still need.
Yes, it is true that there is some distinctions in the player's handbook. Like you can't see color. All of your vision is pretty much black and white for the most part. So we're just going to go with that sort of concept.
Oh, I thought it was the main thing of sorry.
And I mean, it's not pitch black anyway because you do have the moon and the stars and such.
Well, I just meant that she might still have a light source because it's still easier to see.
Oh yeah, she'll have. What would be the best name for her to offer? Probably a lantern. It wouldn't be a hooded lantern because that's is what A, more expensive, and B, there's no reason for a household to have it. But she'll offer a lantern with oil enough for the night.
I will grab the blanket. Grab a kind of small blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Because in case I don't know. Just in case.
Cold.
Yeah, in case I get cold. She's cold-blooded in case she gets cold.
It's okay. You can all have for little
logically, it would make sense for her to be cold-blooded because they are in the water. So logically, yes, I'm gonna say that.
That's not. It's like.
That's reptiles.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but aren't fish cold-blooded? Anything that lives in the sea is
Mammals aren't.
cold.
I mean, there's plenty of mammals in the sea.
Okay, but she has scales, and she's not. I wouldn't say she's a mammal. I
Oh,
don't know what you'd call.
You're a man.
so you came from an egg.
Sure. Hey,
I think
hey,
you, but you're
look.
like you're like walking on two legs. You know what I mean? You have all these features. Like I definitely think
Guys,
you're
it's
probably one.
fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
let's move on from that.
Okay.
So
Oh, I have to make sure she didn't come from an egg.
I have to know what your biological systems are like.
So you guys make your way to the north end of the city, and you find yourselves on the outskirts and facing the woods. Why doesn't everyone give me a survival check?
Oh, man.
And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and jump into Syd's shoes.
Sure.
I guess there's another weakness we have unless Omiros is.
No. Syd's not great either. Oh, unless he is. Okay.
Mine is the only. Okay. Thank God mine is not the only one.
Yes. Tracking. That's definitely my skill set.
Mm-hmm. So Omiros and Syd, you guys started pacing around looking for any signs. Both of you, Syd with dark vision, Omiros using the lantern, and you were both eventually able to pick up a trail of footprints that appear rather fresh. And you guys actually notice that with those high rolls, it is more than one set of footprints. It appears to be maybe a good half dozen or so.
Do you relay that
You
to the
did
rest of us?
say. Yeah. Let's say we found the footprints of more like half a dozen people. And they did say in the bar that he had met to talk with people. So this tracks with what we know so far. Just be prepared, because we're not going to be coming up against one guy solo dolo in the woods, but maybe half a dozen.
I'll be ready for them.
Just follow these right here, and I'll point out the footprints.
Mm-hmm. So I think Syd will take point as you guys enter the woods. And at this point, we're going to do a little thing I like to call a skill challenge. So how this works for you viewers is there is a goal that these guys are trying to do. They're trying to find Ned Burns in the woods. What they can do is they can offer any sort of skill, they can offer a spell, any sort of class feature that they think will help their party succeed in this goal. If they make a roll. If it's above a certain threshold, it counts as a success. If not, it counts as a failure. For this one, we're going to say you need to get 3 successes before 3 failures, and no repetition of the same skill, or else the DC will go significantly higher.
Okay.
So is it something that we're proficient in?
It does not need. You do not need to be proficient in, but I mean, obviously, your odds are better if you are.
Do we have like an order we're doing, or
It can be whoever wants to go first.
I'm proficient in proficiency. Proficient in perception.
Okay. So how are you planning to use that?
Be able to keep my eye out for any like signs of like any more footprints.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Maya.
Why? I was doing so good.
Okay. So Maya, in this new environment, you have not really gone out of town very often, especially not into these woods where you would know there are rumors of wolves. And with those kind of thoughts looming in the forefront of your mind, every snap of a twig just sort of makes you extra tense and you freeze and you look. But then perhaps it was just like a small creature, a rodent or a rabbit or something, and you're just extra fidgety and you're not particularly helpful in this endeavor.
So that's the first failure?
That is one failure.
Okay. Do you have something?
Yeah.
I do have something as well.
You go first.
Okay. It's all going to come down to you. Um, so I am going to use a combination of things, if that's okay. I want to use my survival to. You already mentioned like rabbits and rodents and stuff like that, so I want to use my survival to try and see if I can talk to a few squirrels or some of the rabbits or use my speak with small beasts to try and see if I can get some help from these little woodland critters and even actually have them like if they're willing to like go out and be my eyes, like run around through the trees and see if I can send them out like a little fleet of street urchins out in the forest.
Okay. I'll let you give a survival check. Go ahead.
Okay. Come on, baby. Fucking fuck.
All right. So you start calling out to the darkness with your little cheep, 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 and just like all these an assortment of small critter noises. However, after just maybe less than a minute, you suddenly hear a and you see up in a tree a very large horned owl. Its large yellow eyes blinking and looking directly at the source of the noise. That is you.
And then I go stand behind Omiros.
All right, that was a really good idea, but I'm sorry. You rolled so low.
The dice gods do not love me tonight.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I guess for my own plan, I know it's so because it's kind of moonlight and everything, and hoping that he's meeting up with people who, because he, from what I remember, we think he's human, right? The guy we're after, Ned.
Appeared to be human, yes.
All right, so we're going with that, and humans can't see in the dark just like I can't see in the dark. So my thing is going to, after sort of getting Monterey away from me, because I know he's using me as cover from the giant owl.
You see that owl up there? He wants to eat me.
Stand by the cat. It's like natural enemies. There. I'm gonna try to use athletics and mirthful leaps to scale one of the one of the sturdier trees. Try to sort of leap from branch to branch upwards, I guess, and see if there's any like firelight or lights that shine in our surroundings to see if I can give away somebody meeting up.
Sure thing. Give me an athletics check.
Taking that 10-foot run and jump, I leap trying to get to the nearest branch, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of the jump. Oop, I got a 4.
Oh my god.
See, that's
So
double
we didn't
roll
find
going on.
shit tonight.
Yeah, we didn't get any successes.
Well, here's
Go ahead.
Here's the one thing I just want to ask, because normally doing a check, if I get that 10-foot running leap, it says I can go my strength score and then up a certain distance. So that normally doesn't take a check. So even though I rolled,
It's more.
Sorry,
it's more the spirit of the thing, and I understand that very much. You shouldn't. It's not so much a check to see if you can do it or not. It's more along the lines of if you find a tree that can support your weight, or just the right lining up of the stars to get a certain thing. And so, Omiros, you are indeed able to leap and bound like a billy goat on a mountainside up the trees. It's rather different than your underground background, but there's still some grip to the bark. And you go up and look around, and you see some light off in the distance, and you lead your friends over in that direction, only to find a field of fireflies amid sort of just a stagnant water, which seemed to be the light source you saw from a distance. And it is at this point that all of you hear a
I'm like right in the middle of saying, well, this is a very beautiful spot you found. As soon as the wolf howls.
Can I make
So-
a large illusion of a juice, like a fat stag, like overweight, like just like, you know what I mean, like just like
Like a
Okay.
roast halfling, you know?
yeah, yeah, what?
Okay,
That is
a
correct.
rather husky stag illusion appears.
And he has like a limp too, like he just like he's kind of walking with a limp, like he's hurt
Hmm.
in front of us in the field.
Okay, are you guys staying out in the open?
Nope.
No.
I mean, I'm in a giant tree. What do I have to worry about?
No.
Sid says maybe. Do you want to try and? Can you guys climb?
Yes.
I was like
Hmm.
trying to like shove myself into a hole that's too small for my body, and then when he says this, I'm like, oh, yes, of course, and then start climbing a tree.
Anyone who wants to. Fable's fine. Omiros is fine. So it's just Sid, Jack, and Maya. Roll me athletics checks, please.
I do have a climbing speed.
Oh, you do? Then never mind.
Can
Just
I
the rogue
do-
and the sorcerer.
Can we
Mm.
put, like
Yes,
a rope
my
to
rope
help
on.
them?
That's true. If you guys
God
offer
damn
down a
it.
rope, Maya, you can roll that again. Your friends are
Okay.
giving you advantage.
Yep,
Using
there's
rope.
rope.
There is rope. There is
Still.
hope.
And she
Okay, let-
flops.
Let's see if Sid does any better.
She's like
Okay,
a fish flopping on the ground down there.
Maya,
Mine's just
So,
gonna go hide in a bush.
You are the bush.
well, at this point, all of you get up. Sid scrambling up the rope. Maya, your upper body strength, despite working on a boat, it's more for pulling in lines and sails. Just vertical climbing is not something you are used to. And after several tries, you find yourself out of breath and still on the ground.
I'll call
Is there
down
a-
to her.
But is there a bush near me, like, or something that I could hide in?
Yes, there's certainly things to hide behind in a forest. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
If you can fit in there,
No.
they can fit in there.
Of course, I'm stealth.
Okay. Maya, it
But I can't
occurs
hide.
to you that you are a Triton next to a body of water, and that wolves use their sense of smell to find things, and you can breathe underwater.
I didn't know it was by water. I thought it was in forest.
There's a little pond there with the fireflies.
Oh, I didn't hear about this. Okay, I go hide in the water.
I'm
And-
looking toward the the lame, large stag that's shuffling the field.
Mhm. And not a minute later, you guys eventually hear some just very faint of several paws, individuals, and you see some glowing eyes off behind some trees and some as suddenly 4 different wolves dash out and try to attack the stag.
Run away from us if that's possible to the limit of my spell. I think it's 500 feet.
It cannot be 500 feet for that spell. I do not.
I
believe
thought it
that.
was, or maybe I'm thinking of a completely.
I'll give you
different thing.
120 is my idea. I don't think 500.
No, it's actually shorter than that. It says 60 feet. I thought it was. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of a different game. That's why.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm constantly getting Pathfinder and 5e confused.
Yeah, that's cool. So the wolves, the first 4 are just the first few, as you see suddenly 3 more dash out from behind them and try to almost pincer this stag, and they do. However, as they try and dash on it, they jump and leap and actually hit each other mid-air as they just go through this illusion and snarl angrily. And
Whose idea was it to come out here at night? My goodness.
you see them start to sniff around the area, and they wander around the trees that you're hidden in.
Okay, can I? Before that happens, can
Mm-hmm.
I actually use Eldritch Blast? Now that has this. What's the?
You are well within range for Eldritch Blast. I imagine you're
What?
only maybe 30 feet up in the tree or
So I don't
something.
want to blast them. I'm
Okay.
Okay, I'll just blast this gone from my sheet for some reason. That's weird. Anyways,
we talked about that.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me re-add it. But I think it's like 120 foot range.
It's 120 feet, yes.
So can I use that to like hit a tree on the other side of the glade? Because that can actually hit physical objects, right?
Yes, it can.
So I can create a sound hitting one of the trees on the other side, like away from us.
And with a thump, you see all of the wolves suddenly dash off in the direction of the new sound.
Okay.
So
I kind of like
four in a tree,
pops her
in the
head
pond.
up, barely looking, just like this.
Maya,
Making sure
get
it's
in the
clear.
tree. What are you doing down there?
Maya's just gonna glare at him.
I need goblins to ride these wolves, so we can have that five fun little birds and 5 fir trees moment from Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna start lighting pine cones on fire in a minute.
Hey, here's some chucks and flaming pine cones.
Maya's gonna get out of the pond. She's like, I'm gonna go home
Dude, there's wolves out
because
there. They will eat you.
I told y'all it was a bad idea to come at night because
Over
it's
here.
wolves and it's dangerous.
I'm fairly certain this was your idea.
Maya is dangerous either which way, but we're losing time on a guy who might be trying to skedaddle from town, and then we get no maps and no favor from the captain.
So I think we should just keep pushing on. The wolves will not follow us with other people around.
It
But
is.
we don't know where they are.
Well, actually,
They're right over there.
and at this point, Syd checks and speaks up, and he kind of points off in a direction, and all of you can just barely see a dim source of light appearing to be from maybe a campfire.
Exciting.
There we go.
Perhaps we can point the wolves at the bad guys. Somehow.
Believe
Oh,
we
wait.
need that merchant alive.
Yeah.
Would be better, I think.
Why do we need a
Was Syd and Maya, or Syd and Fable, since you both can see in the dark.
Maya
And I
can
think-
see.
No, let me finish, woman. I know you can see. Let me finish. And you'll both be more stealthy orientated that I've seen so far. Maybe the two of you sneak ahead of us and check in on the campfire while we trail backwards.
Maya's just getting more and more offended.
I don't know why you're offended. You're dripping wet.
Okay, and
I am a master of reconnaissance.
When you can see, probably.
I will help you with that, Maya. Kind of
no, I'm fine.
suckle a bunch
Chill.
of water off. I'll do it anyways.
No,
Quit
I
sucking
have-
our friends.
I don't know if you guys. I like go out and pull out. We never talked about this, Connor, but I guess my book of shadows. How would it look like?
That is
I imagine it's a book, maybe more of like a. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
that is up to you.
I'm trying to think of something that would be like written. Huh.
Maybe like an
Log.
old sea captain's journal sort of thing.
Yeah, like, kind of like a log. Yeah, so I pull out this like. It looks like a nibbled, like small leather bound
A ledger.
thing that's ledger. Yeah, that's kind of like dripping with water. And I kind of start flipping through it, and you guys can see there's like nothing written on the pages for you guys. So it just looks dirty. It just looks dirty. But I go, I have learned something new that I have not tried yet, but I look at Jack, like I'm about to do to Jack, and I get it. I'm like, no, that's a horrible idea. I look to Omiros, and Omiros, you hear right in your ear, kind of like creepily. I don't know if you can hear me right now.
Yes.
Just like, Omiros, can you hear me? I'm right in your ear. It's kind of like almost a little hot from my. Like, it seems like I'm like in your ear.
It's getting
I'm
hot
kind
in your
of-
ear. Oh.
Yeah, like when somebody whispers really close in your ear.
I
It's
don't like
getting
this.
hot in here.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay,
Yes, I
I
just
can hear you. It's uncomfortable, but I can hear.
As you talk back, your voice almost like gets like sucked down into nothing. Like it's like almost like you're talking in like a bunch of water. Like the other people around can't hear it because it's been like so diffused. But I can hear it perfectly. I'll give you a thumbs up.
That is a strange ability.
Yes, but I think it would help us with reconnaissance.
That'd be true.
All right.
Also, since other people can't hear us, I think, right? People, it's just me and you having this conversation.
Did you guys hear that?
Let's
No.
trying to concentrate, and I just start trying to turn invisible.
Oh God, he's gonna poop again.
Oh, dear. Tell you what, Jack, why don't you be the first line of defense if something goes wrong with Fable and I scoping things out?
Well, I was gonna turn invisible and go scope it out, so.
You know what? I believe that Maya is actually an expert on invisibility, and maybe she'll have a few pointers for you, to perfect your invisibility and just to strategize between the magic users. Yeah, so thanks, Maya, and Sid will run off.
So, I think the best way for turning invisible is, and then, he's like goes off into some exclamation that makes no sense.
Maya's sitting there contemplating if she should just ruin this whole thing for both of them, or not.
Look,
I kinda
Maya,
give you guys the
you look mad.
Really? You think?
You look mad, but I don't know why. It wasn't a stab at your ability or anything, but from what I've seen as we've been together so far, you'll be a backline fighter, and those two have done pretty well up front. I'm just keeping you, and apparently keeping you up to what your mother wants, remember? Keeping you safe and away from danger. I mean, I'm not trying to say you don't have an ability or anything. I was just letting the two people who have been stealthy before and gone off before do the same thing.
Maya's kind of just gonna have moved behind Monterey to where he can't see her, and she's like, he's annoying. She's like just pointing at him like.
Okay.
Him.
I keep explaining to her the best ways for turning invisible, so perhaps one day she'll get to my level.
I'm sorry. Did you sneak into a tavern and stay invisible for almost an entire hour and walk around without bumping into anybody?
Well, I did need to. I had a spectacular disguise that was created by our own Fable.
I think you're still dressed in it, actually.
It's true.
Yeah, we all dress in our disguises.
Yeah. I'm just not going to take it off now.
It was a disguise, not just normal clothes.
She's who I am now. And I can turn invisible.
So, Fable, I believe you were going to go with Syd to investigate ahead.
And I kind of tell them that they should stay within like 100 feet of us or something. Kind of.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the plan.
Yeah.
Keep we're gonna be within like 50, 60 feet away,
Okay.
so that we can get into, getting the help as soon as possible.
So, I will need a stealth check from Syd and Fable then.
And because we both have low light, we're not using any light. Do we have any type of advantage to that, or is it just normal?
Just normal.
Okay.
But the fact that it's dark is taken into account.
Okay.
So, Omiros and Monterey are staying with Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Yes.
a 1. Not much better though. 10.
All right.
You see that
So-
23.
Yeah, well, rogues.
We need your
So-
eyes with us anyway, because neither one of us can see. So, you're feeling.
He actually has the same. We have the same stealth modifiers.
Well, them's be the dice.
Yeah.
You guys also totally just bombed
I
a skill
know.
check just by having really good ideas. So, Fable, you and Syd begin to travel further along towards this light source. And you travel for maybe a quarter of a mile, being very careful to not step on any sort of dry leaves or twigs to give away your position, while also keeping an ear out for any more signs of the wolves that you now know are abounding in these woods. And as you continue to get closer, you start to hear voices off in the distance, but it's tough to hear because you've come across a small stream that is cutting through the river. And it's also blocking off your way somewhat. So you start to go along the north side of the river to where Syd says there is a bridge, as he is a little bit familiar with these woods, as he is a carpenter and has used these woods for lumber before. And it's as you are approaching the bridge that you see something in the distance. It appears to be maybe a body that is on the ground. It's maybe 40 feet away from you two. What should we do?
Might be a trap.
Okay, I repeat, what should we do?
We sneak around.
I mean, be good. It looks like it's only about 20 feet away from the bridge. And unless you want to, go into the stream, which I guess we could, but I mean, I like bridges. They really help for short people.
Well, we would be exposed on the bridge. So the camp is just beyond the bridge.
You do see the light sources just across the bridge, yes.
Okay, well, if there's this bot, if you want to check it out, I can do a little, see if it's a trap. Spring it, possibly.
I mean, I don't know about your illusions, but mine can't actually interact with anything. How are you going to spring a trap if there's...
Well, it doesn't have to interact as long as he is close, right?
Oh, so you think that, they'll see something, and then maybe if there's any ambushers, they'll try to attack.
Yes,
Okay, gotcha.
Right. I will first whisper into Omiros' ears. That's... Omiros! Can you hear me? It is me.
I don't like this ability. No, I know it's you. Stop talking.
Okay. There's a party in the road. We're going to use the illusion to see if it's a trap. Be prepared.
Okay.
Why does that look on your face?
You are muted.
Is Copman is talking to me, and I'll dig into my ears.
Fable out.
It's very strange.
Did he use tongues?
It might as well have.
All right, Fable, what illusion do you use?
I do I really like using Jack. So I do like a picture of Jack, but kind of like a little bit taller version of him. That's like kind of like Ace Ventura, sneaking up to this body.
That's how I would have done it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So just kind of he looks like Jack, but stupider, if that even makes sense. He looks goofier than normal Jack.
Okay. The caricature of the character.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And he has a big money bag, but it's not clean. Oh, I guess actually, no, never mind. I don't want that because that would be. So he's just kind of sneaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Keystone Cops.
As Jack Double starts creeping towards the body, he gets to be about 10 feet away when suddenly there is a hiss as an arrow goes right through the illusion.
Oh, yes.
And I will go ahead. Let's do this. There, nope, not that. Oh. Gold to see. And I'm transferring you guys to the new map.
Ooh, exciting.
Ooh.
You guys will be a bit meh, but still.
Okay. I am going to quickly go ahead and switch us on over to that battle map, or battle screen.
It's so dark.
Time for a fight.
So Fable, at the end of your, can I ping? I can. There is a dead body in the top left of your vision. And I will say you saw the arrow seem to come from this ish direction, seemingly up one of the trees, actually.
Okay. And if we just look up there, we can't see anything, or
Roll me a perception check.
oh, I was so close to 20. Damn it! I'm rolling like crap.
Okay. You don't notice anything in the tree, but you have a strong suspicion that maybe something is there.
Like,
That was perception. Yeah,
Okay.
Syd doesn't see anyone either.
well, we kind of like point, and I go and I whisper back to Omiros, "Up in the trees. This is Fable. Up in the
I
trees.
think he wants us to go up into the trees.
No, there's an attacker up in the trees."
I immediately turn invisible.
Oh, there's an attacker in the trees.
Maya kind of looks up.
I kind
there-
of make the illusion like, like an arrow and fall over.
roll me a charisma check to try and time it so they still think that your illusion is real.
Ooh, mama! Look,
Nice.
hey, you know what? Everything else I roll like crap, but charisma.
Okay. There is a brief moment, but you hear the familiar hiss of an arrow and see where it came from. And you're like, and suddenly the double has an arrow somewhere in its torso and does a very dramatic, drawn-out death sequence.
Yeah,
Very silent.
tongue is hanging out. And then I tell Syd to make a little fart sound because that people often they fart when they die. So Syd, make a fart
They
sound.
poop.
Kind of far away, and he tries to minor illusion of fart.
I immediately turn invisible and start moving forward.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh. Maya's
Da-
gonna grab his tail.
Yeah, wait. Let's...
Not
Yeah,
the tail.
has Omiros or Monterey lit a light source yet?
No.
Okay.
Well, Omiros is supposed to have a light source because I've been using the lantern Mama gave us.
You can toggle your torch on. You should be able to toggle your torch on.
I have given Omiros a torch.
I'm
Wow.
I'm invisible, so I don't want to reveal myself.
I think we're like kind of in the trees or something, or are we like on the road?
You're kind of on the road, a little bit off of it, trying to be as stealthy as possible.
Yeah, I would just kind of like go one square over while that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Maya is gonna grab Monterey's tail to keep him going
Nope.
any further.
Roll
I
me.
said that. I said that before, like right before.
I
the
know, but I'm
lights-
gonna dodge you.
Yeah, give me an athletics check, and Monterey, you can do acrobatics or athletics.
Oh damn. Me.
Oh, you
This
know
is
it's
what-
acrobatics. Yeah.
All right. Little mouse folk was able to wiggle away.
Whip my
And is
tail out
running.
and say, "Never touch a mouse's tail." As I kind of saunter and
And
sneak off. I'm
Monterey,
totally invisible because so she can't even see me as I disappear.
As you march out of your line of sight with the lantern.
It's true.
Let's hope he bumps into a tree before he gets shot by
I hear him coming.
Oh,
Something.
yes.
I cast message on Monterey. Monterey, this is Fable. Please. Be quiet. Be quiet. Stay still. The trap. I have set a trap. I have set a trap on the person who also set a trap. It's a trap on the grabbers. Let's see if they go to the body. Then you may attack. Just wait there. It's Fable out.
I think I've got it. I actually whisper that out.
No, it's automatically back to my.
I know, but I
It's
don't know that.
Yeah. Then I message you back and I say out after you're done with the conversation.
Out.
No, like I will go back. This is Fable again. Your name and then out, so I know it's you.
Your
Fable out.
name. Out.
You say Jack. And right now I'm going to end it and say Fable out.
Where did he go?
All right, just stay there. Fable out.
Fable's gone somewhere.
Damn it. So nothing's happening. This person hasn't left their tree post.
No.
I'm not a smart mouse, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, I whisper back to Omiros. Omiros, the trap that I set for the trapper is not being sprung, so we must get this person. Do you guys want to go?
I whisper back and say, I will act as bait, for I have fast reflexes. If they're shooting arrows.
And then I whisper back, I'm like, make sure to say Omiros out when you're done with the conversation. Fable out. sorry.
Omiros out.
What? Are you leaving too? Wait, what? Your Fable, you're right here. You just said you were leaving.
I want to get out of the before Omiros comes with his light source. Can I like?
He is coming.
Yeah. Before that happens, can I kind of scurry over up into the tree and like get up into the tree? This tree.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about the light at all because I'm invisible.
Fuck you. What is going on?
Okay.
Stealth. Can I roll deception?
No.
I want to roll everything right now.
Jesus.
So Omiros and Monterey are walking forward. Monterey with a bit of a strut in his step towards the direction that Fable said that there was apparently a person in a tree.
It's true. I'm invisible. I'm not worried about it at all.
Mine's just gonna hang back. Since she doesn't want to get injured. She can keep moving, but moving behind them.
Sid, what are
Sid,
you doing up here?
Sid's hidden. The 15 stealth. You can probably see Fable though.
My tail is just completely sticking.
She's still
out.
hiding in the light.
Well, I mean, he's just, how would I describe a natural one in that foliage?
He's clinging onto the tree and pretending he's hiding, like he's hiding his eyes.
I'm like, hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo! But it's obviously me
It's like
doing
clinging
it.
to the trunk.
So I can't see you, so you can't see me.
Yes.
He tried to climb it, and then one of the tree branches broke, and he just fell.
Yeah, that makes sense. I climbed it and the branch broke. I just land with my back.
Yeah. All right, Omiros. At this point, you can see the remains a little bit further up the road.
I'm still invisible, so I'm gonna keep creeping forward. I see something up ahead, Omiros. I'm gonna go check it out. Stay here.
Oh gosh.
Go up to the spot
And-
and check it out.
Monterey, you see a familiar visage, that of Ned Burns. His throat is slashed, and he is very apparently dead. And just as you are starting to come to the realization that there is a familiar of an arrow through the air, that's where we're going to end off this week, guys.
All right.
Oh god. Bonner's gonna get hit by an arrow and go down immediately.
Literally put an illusion out, and an arrow came and hit somebody, and the Monterey fucking.
Well, I got this, guys. Don't worry about it.
I guess he's aware of it.
None of you have told him he's not.
Mine wanted to, but
It's
she's like,
true. You guys have not told me that I cannot indeed turn invisible, so I'm gonna go with it.
The last time you tried
Yeah,
it.
Quinn, you missed something in the last episode.
Yeah, apparently I missed something.
where-
I didn't say anything. I was like, they've obviously told him he's not invisible, right?
Yeah, I
Or-
know. I thought we covered that, didn't we?
No.
Started the joke. Sid was the one who told him he did turn invisible.
It's
Everyone played
true.
along.
This,
I don't think that's true. Okay. I think
this
that's
is Sid's fault.
That sounds
Oh,
exactly like
yeah.
what Sid and Fable would do. Monterey
Fable
would be like, I can turn invisible, and they're like, yes, you can. Where did you go?
That's exactly what happened. That's pretty much what happened. So Monterey does indeed believe that he can turn invisible, and nobody's told him otherwise yet. So
I should have made you actually invisible.
So the whole time he was talking about I'm invisible and nobody can see me, he really believed that, even though you could see him right there. So there's that. Anyway, this is going to be fun. Please come back and see what crazy shenanigans are going to happen next week, because something crazy is about to happen for sure. How could it not at this point? Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Please, again, go check out Limitron. He's our sponsor for the show, and he does some awesome map work and stuff that can take your game to the next level, and you should go check it out. Over on Patreon, make sure you look up Limitron there. And yeah, other than that, thanks for coming and playing some D&D. I see Quinn's over there in full mastermind mode. And thank you, Connor, for running the game tonight. Definitely appreciate you doing that for us every week. And please come back and see us again next week, guys. I'm so stoked to be broadcasting and getting going live again. We'll get this video up hopefully here tomorrow up on YouTube, so go look for that over there and give it a nice like and all those good things. And yeah, we have a show on Sunday, 6 o'clock. Come back and watch us. I'll be jamming then. And then we also have a brand new show called Frost Maidens on Tuesday nights. It's an all-girl campaign, and they're checking out that brand new Rite of the Frost Maiden adventure that just dropped on D&D Beyond, and we're super stoked to get that going as well. So come check us out a couple nights during the week. So anyway, have a great one, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Bye.